Everyone uses M-Pesa daily. Even me, I no longer carry any credit cards or cash. I use M-Pesa. More and more of these companies will start to look at crypto as a way to bring down the transfer cost. The statistics in the space are for sure pointing in the right direction. It's a great market to invest in. My name is Mandeep. I am the Business Development Manager in the Middle East and Africa region for Acuant. Acuant is a US company that focused very much on the identity management space. So they have a complete unified API platform that covers identity verification, it covers fraud prevention, AML screening, and transaction monitoring, all in a single unified API. Every use case, every vertical that we have tens of thousands of customers who are all onboarding and verifying customers' identities using our technology, because we're now in a digital world. Today you can open a bank account digitally. You can buy products digitally. So every one of those customers that use our services, they want to ensure that the identity is truly that person and not a stolen identity. So with our technology, they can verify that Mandeep is really Mandeep and not someone else through various tests that we do through our platform. I attended recent events, fintech events, and I'm seeing a lot of companies that are setting up in the crypto space. So that's one that's growing. Although over the last few weeks, it's all taken a bashing. Seeing a lot in the BNPL space and lending, and payments. Payments has been ongoing for quite a while, but that's ever increasing. And I'm seeing also the interest in trying to reduce the cost of remittances, etc. as well. So that's also an area, because remittances continue to be on average 8 to 10% from US, Europe into Africa. So I know many companies are looking at that, and increasingly, aside from those areas in fintech, there are areas that are growing in verification in areas like hospitality, for example, and rentals. So anyone hiring an Airbnb, for example, the hosts want to know who the customer is or are that are going to take up those. So we're seeing growth in those areas. But yeah, the fintech landscape in Africa, certainly BNPL is and neobanking. And good examples recently, customers are moving towards and switching to neobanking, and some of these neobanks are now keen to expand their services and offer the ability for bill payments and mobile commerce within the same super apps. So there's growth in those areas. I see opportunities in getting the financially underserved into the banked space. So having traveled across Africa recently, there's still a massive opportunity in the space. And even at today's event, clearly the numbers show that there is a massive scope to get the unbanked into the bank space, and that will improve the space ongoing. Even me as an individual, I see a mass. The opportunities are there. I mean, everyone is, every penny we spend today, most of it we're doing digitally. Yes, most of Africa is still cash, but we're moving as we make it easier for customers to become financially inclusive, they're moving to the ability to be able to make payments online. So from an investment perspective, I see the opportunity and I see why investors are pumping money, because as soon as everyone is banked, then and then clearly looking at the M-Pesa numbers, everyone uses M-Pesa daily. Even me, I no longer carry any credit cards or cash. I use M-Pesa. So looking at those numbers is why investors are constantly looking at investing in any companies that are in the fintech space, because it's just going to mushroom, as we get customers onto the financial space. I'm seeing a huge interest certainly in neobanking. Not only entrepreneurs wanting to get into that space, but also companies who are putting together full-fledged systems that can provide all of those services, from lending, having current accounts, onboarding, virtual cards. There are some companies, some massive companies that are beginning to now get people onboarded and offer virtual cards that they can use to use for payments on m-commerce platforms. So even M-Pesa, they've moved from mobile money to now supporting virtual cards, so people can shop abroad and use M-Pesa to make those payments. So and BNPL has grown considerably. I mean, I've met some companies recently in the Middle East who are actually offering loans interest-free. It's the merchants that are paying for their customers to take their goods. So that's an area that's mushrooming, a lot. And as I say, neobanks is the new flavor. The payment space and the remittance space has been around, but I believe that more and more of these companies will start to look at crypto as a way to bring down the transfer costs. Only today I saw a posting on LinkedIn where we now have the euro coin backed by European Union. And I don't know if that's a true fact or not, but if it is, and we can bring down the cost of remittance, that's going to be amazing. Many years ago, way back in 2017, I was actually given the role to lead a company to do remittances from the US to the Caribbean. That was my entry from the mobile space into the fintech space. So ever since then, I still see an opportunity in remittances, but clearly there's opportunities in lending, neo-banking, payments, virtual cards. That's all beginning to grow. And when I told my wife, did you know that you can now get a virtual card on M-Pesa, she was surprised, but happy when she knew, because she buys things abroad often. So now she can do that easily. Yes, there's a lot of money coming in, but I believe today we're experiencing what we call a funding winter. People are scaling back. You can see companies are now even cutting employees. Once again, recent piece of news I see in the Middle East, some of these crypto companies, Beta Oasis, are now shedding employees because they're seeing cutbacks in the crypto space. So having been an investor, I would highly recommend every investor to do thorough diligence, look at all the statistics. The statistics in the space are for sure pointing in the right direction. It's a great market to invest in, but invest in the right people, invest in the right companies with the right business models. That's what I would do. And make sure that you have the right contractual or investment agreements in place to ensure that your investments are safe and protected. Now, I believe in responsible lending. I don't want to get into the situation where way back many years ago in the US, payday loans were done, but it was a very dirty business. It needs to be responsible. And any companies that I would highly recommend investing in would be those where it's responsible lending and the loans are being used by the merchants to buy fuel for the day, to take their customers where they need to go, or buy product stock for the day or the weekend, and then pay back those loans. And in essence, helping the merchants grow with loans that are required for that period that they need them for. So I believe there's still a fair amount of opportunity there. I would love to see crypto, but yes, currently the situation is a little bit down in the crypto space. But ultimately, I believe that as governments are beginning to look at national coins, I believe that it will increase the ability for all the populations of the African nations to be in the payment space, because they don't have to use physical cash. They can have digital coins.